Today I'd like to show you some of my all-time favorite Hot Wheels Super Treasure Hunts. Over the last roughly 15 years, since 2007, Hot Wheels has produced over 250 different Super Treasure Hunts. So it was really hard to narrow down a list of my top 10. So I have about 6 or 7 of my honorable mentions that we will also take a look at briefly. So here are my honorable mentions. We'll do this really quick. We got a big list here, so we'll go from the oldest to newest. We'll go through them really quick. We'll explain why they didn't quite make the cut. Now I want to start out with these two in particular. Both of these are from the 2007 model year. We have ourselves the Nissan Skyline and the Enzo Ferrari. I absolutely love the execution on both of these, and I actually really like these wheels. That might be an unpopular opinion with most, but I really do like those wheels. The biggest reason why I kept both of these off of my top 10 was, if you are very familiar with the 2007 Super Treasure Hunts, this was the very first year that they introduced them. And if you look at the Skyline, I don't know if it's going to quite pick it up on camera, but do you see that? And that is an issue with the paint. All these 07 Supers have been known to have issues with the paint. Paint has been known to flake off of these, and I fully expect that there's a chance that it will flake off the rest of them at some point. Now my Ferrari, on the other hand, is in really nice shape, actually, but there are a couple little flakes and it looks like we might have a little bit of a bubble starting there. But overall, I do really like these Supers. I really like these wheels. I'd love to see these wheels come back on something, but very cool nonetheless. I should start to speed this up a bit. Anyway, so we have the 2012 release of the 71 Challenger. This one I have both loose and carded, and for me, I think this one was one of my last cuts. I really do enjoy the color on this one. It's very similar to what we see on the Superbird, and the thing that really made me enjoy this one is the redline rubber tires that are on this one, and it just matches perfectly with the Spectra Flame. This one's got some very good detail for being a $2 car. I guess at the time it was more like a $1 car, but I guess inflation now. But I'm pretty sure, if I remember right, this is one of my last cuts. But there's really not too much to say about this one. Next, we have the 2015 F-Case release of the Dodge Van Super Treasure Hunt. Now, I love the Moon Eyes livery. I love the wheels. But for me, I think this is one of my last cuts as well. And this one looks really good overall. The details on the back are really nice. And I can't remember the issue I had with this one 100%. I think it was just because there were other Mopar Supers I had on the list already. But there's really, again, not much to say about the rest of these that are on the list here for my honorable mentions. Up next, we have ourselves the 2019 Porsche 911 GT3 RS Super Treasure Hunt. This was my very last cut, and it was between this and another Porsche Super. I was really contemplating which one I wanted to go with, and I ended up going with the one that you will see at number 10, I believe, on the list. But I do really appreciate Hot Wheels going all out with Spectra Flame Purple on this one. It just, for this Super, I think they could have did a little bit more with details on this one. Because if we look here, it doesn't look like we have much for detail on that. You get the TH in the back, it's very small, but we don't even get the tail lights on this one. This one just seems kind of bland. It's very clean, but it just seems kind of bland. Up next, we have one that I actually found. This is the 2021 Q-Case release of the Shelby Cobra. I ended up finding 2 of these when they came out, and you'll actually be able to see the videos of those, and I will link those down below because I found them in 2 separate videos, and one of them was in a unicorn case with the ID chase and the treasure hunt as well. Again, there's not too much to say about this one. This came out as a treasure hunt back in the 90s. This is one of the very first treasure hunts actually, and I really appreciate how they did the Spectraflame Red with this one. They kind of went with that classic Cobra livery, and this one just looks good overall. Now lastly is a fairly new one actually. We have ourselves the beautiful, beautiful pink Datsun 510 Wagon. I'm a huge fan of this casting. I love it, and I really think, unlike most collectors seem to think, I think this one was a home run. This one was a slam dunk. I really am a huge fan of Spectraflame Pink. And now with this one, you won't see the smooth grille variation, as I don't believe this one produced a smooth grille variation. I haven't seen any at least, but overall, Spectraflame Pink is one of my favorite colors. Now let's get right into my top 10. At number 10, I have the 2018 C-Case release of the Porsche 934.5. I absolutely love Spectraflame Teal on this one. And on any Porsche really. This one does it for me as well, as you get the headlight details on that, and that just looks so good. And I think the wheels were a really good choice for this one. The TH is right in the back, right by the bumper. There isn't any back details on this one, but everything else with this Super just, for me, makes this an amazing Super, and it is my favorite Porsche Super to be released up to this point. At number 9, this one might be a bit more controversial. However, I think this is the most underrated Skyline ever released. This is the 2018 E-Case Nissan Skyline 2000 GTR. The detailing on this one, the color, the decals, I think everything about this one is just absolutely beautiful on this. And this is my favorite Skyline that's really been released so far. This one is really one that hasn't skyrocketed in price either like the other ones seem to have. But this one was just such a cool one in my opinion. I could not leave that one off the list. I remember when I was hunting for this one that I didn't know if I was going to be able to tell the difference between the mainline and the Super, but you can definitely tell, as this is such a darker color blue compared to the mainline. And the mainline was a pretty dark blue as well, but this one pops. At number 7, I had to go with the OG 510 Wagon. This one's an absolutely gorgeous Super. I believe this one was designed by Junimai as well, who works at Kaido House now. And the thing that's really special about this Super, in my opinion, I never did find this one, but this is one of the first Supers I can say I was hunting after very hard. This is right around the time I started to understand what Super treasure hunts were. And this one is not a smooth grille, but with this one you could find the variation where if it's picking it up on the camera, this is a mesh grille, but there were some that had the grille painted right over it too. And if you know anything about this Super, you know that this is a very sought after one. And if I had the pink one as an honorable mention, of course I gotta go with the original at number 7 and have it higher than the pink one. So at number 7, I think I called the 510 Wagon number 7, but this is the actual number 7. We have ourselves the 18 Dodge Demon. And I think this version of it is super nice. I love Spectraflame Red. Honestly, any Spectraflame color looks really good. I remember this is a Super that I had a hard time telling between the mainline and the Super when it first came out. And it's very apparent again, it's just like the Camry to me. And the TH you can see right on the back on the hood, I mean the trunk. Now this one could use a bit more detail in the back, however, you can only do so much with a $1 car as I gotta keep the cost under $1. But another great Super, glad to have it in my collection. And this is a little bit of foreshadowing to what's to come later on the list. So this was the most difficult part in my rankings, between 5 and 6. I believe it could go either way in my opinion, but I decided to put the 17 Acura NSX from the 2017 F-Case at number 6. I am a huge fan of this Spectraflame Gold. I remember really wanting to find this Super so bad when it came out, and I think this one does not disappoint. The wheel choice is amazing. I think it just fits the NSX. The decals, the tail lights, the headlights. I think this one's just clean, perfect how it should be done. I think this is what I wish to see on the 911 GT3 RS. And I am a huge, huge fan of this one. But number 5 is just an absolute beauty as well. So number 5, this one's a very new Super. We have not seen this one out in the stores yet, but this is one that I just knew I had to have. This is for the L case of 2024. Pardon me. I think the wheel choice is perfect on this one. You just can't go wrong with those wheels. They're almost like a rose gold. The red rim around it is nice. This one is an absolute home run. And also I wanted to give my list a bit of variety, as really my top 5 hasn't changed since 2020. But this is one of my favorite castings to collect that is not Mopar. And this one is a beauty. Now the only issue I have with this one is that it's got more red than I would have liked, and that the bird is not as much of a gold color as I would have wanted. I would have liked to see a much brighter gold color, kind of like what we've seen on the Fast and Furious Premium, but nonetheless, absolutely gorgeous Super, and I'm glad to have this one in my collection. I actually just forgot, I gotta put that on the turntable. Let's take a quick look at that one on the turntable. I got a loose one as well. And wow, won't you look at that? That thing is beautiful. And it just, the Spectraflame smoke is another really good color. Honestly, I think I said it already, but any Spectraflame color looks really good. It does not matter how it looks, but it just looks super nice. At number 4, I have the OG Acura NSX. And yes, the card is opened. This is back during a time when I kind of partially opened it, just enough I can get the car loose, but throw it back in the card. But anyways, let's just take a look at this Super. This one is absolutely well done. You can look at those. They have the beautiful tail lights on this one. The TH is right in the back bumper on the back right corner. The wheel choice was amazing. Spectraflame Blue fits this car really nice. Maybe they could have went with like a Phoenix Yellow one, but still a very, very nice Super. And there's the Acura emblem. There's really not much to say. This is a very good Super as well, in my opinion. And I'm glad to have it at number 4. So at number 3, this one's kind of odd to have it number 3. You'd think this one would be at number 2. I think everybody knows what number 1's going to be for me, if you've been on the channel long enough. But at number 3, this is the Dodge Daytona from the 2016 G case. And for me, the thing that really sets this one off is I don't know if Spectraflame Green really fits this car as well as some other colors might have. Maybe like Spectraflame Gold or Spectraflame Red. As you don't want to do Spectraflame Blue because then you're basically repeating the Superbird from 2015. But overall, this one's still a very nice Super. And we'll look at it on the turntable loose here. This one in particular is a prototype, and it has the slot wheels, which were not found on the carded versions. That's not even a total, that's kind of a lie though. There were some that had the slot wheels on them, that style of rim, and they had Goodyear writing on the tire, and some of those were actually found on card in stores. And that is quite a holy grail piece. That is a hard piece to come by, and that's a piece that will run you up a pretty penny. So I don't know if I'll ever get my hands on one of those carded, but I'm still glad to have this one. This one's a really nice Super. Glad to have it at number 3 on my list. At number 2, I have to have the gold Jags Demon from 2020 end case. And this one just looks so stunning. This is a different Spectra Flame than the color we've seen on the NSX and the Dodge Van. And does that ever look sharp? I have it loose as well. And this was during the year when they had that 25 TH to celebrate the 25th anniversary of Treasure Hunt, as you can see right in front of that back wheel. And the wheel choice is also an amazing feature on this one. And the Jags livery is based on the real car. And this is a Super I wish I would have found, but I'm thankful to have it here and be able to show you. And we haven't really seen any like cars like this one, like a drag car, like in a long time. Unless if I'm forgetting some, let me know, but this is definitely the superior of the two demons in my opinion. You just cannot beat this one. Absolutely gorgeous livery. Great job, Hot Wheels. I hope to see this casting again. Everyone who is a long-time viewer of my channel seen this one coming. At number 1, I had to go with the original Plymouth Superbird from 2015 P-Case. We just don't see wheels like that anymore. And especially the color, the casting. They just did this, they just went all out on this one. They even went with the extra decals, which you don't really see on Supers anymore. Because the mainline does not have the number 33 or the writing on the hood. And let's take a look at a really interesting variation I have. So this is a Super Treasure Hunt with mainline paint. And right beside it, I'm gonna put up the actual Super. So on the left, you have the actual Super with Spectra Flame paint. And on the right, you have the variation of the Super with the mainline paint. Both of these are very cool. This is a Super I wanted to find so bad. This is the first Super I remember thinking I need that at some point in my life. And I went probably 7 years without it. I did not get this one until July 2022, and now I have 5 of them. So I have pretty much every card variation except short card with this one, and that I am looking for. Same deal with the Daytona. I'm looking for the short card of that one as well, along with that wheel variation. But either way, I am just happy to have this one in my collection. This is an absolute stunner in my opinion. So I decided to do something a bit different. It's an outdoor showcase. That's something I haven't done on the channel in a very, very long time. It's been at least 2 years since I've done that. We'll see how this video does. I might do more videos like this if I don't have anything for peg hunting. But I really hope you guys enjoyed this. Don't forget to leave a like, share, and subscribe. Share it with your friends, family, cats, dogs, squirrels, whoever. Please just share the video. Happy hunting and stay safe.